not even mean Bowers game for me.
Ahoy there, YouTube. Welcome back for another Thoughts from the Corner. I'm Adam. That's Lucy.
Hey.
Bowers right here.
And today we're taking a look at the brand spanking new Lost Ruins of Arnak from CGE. This is for 1 to 4 players, ages 12 plus. It'll take you about 90 minutes to play. And Lost Ruins of Arnak, wow, there's a lot going on in this game. It is a worker placement, deck building, racing game in which you are on your turn going to take one main action. Those main actions might be buying cards in a typical deck building fashion. They might be placing down workers in a typical worker placement fashion, except you're going to have to use movement in order to get to those locations because you are going to be exploring new locations. And one thing that's really cool is as you explore new locations, you won't even know the actions that you're going to be taking as you do that. It might be, it's always going to be good, but there might be some bad things that will happen along the way. There's going to be monsters that you're going to be able to face in order to get victory points. You're going to be able to do research and go up on this track and gain a bunch of cool stuff, and that's a race thing, and it's a point salad style game. And we'll leave it at that. I will do a solo video on this, I do believe, because I really liked it. But who wants to start with their thoughts on the game?
It was a really nice game. Like, I love worker placement, and this is like a lot of like things that I kind of wish that more modern worker placements do. Is that like I don't have to depend on my workers now. I can do stuff while my workers are out, which I really like that mechanic. And the more and more I'm playing it, the more I'm like, why don't like a lot of other worker placements do that?
Yeah, I agree. It is not. This is not a worker placement game. This is not a deck building game. I feel like they straddle the line between it. Really, I mean, there was a whole race element to the game, and I crushed on the race element. And I ended up winning because of it. But I imagine
it was still a close game between all of us.
Yeah, except for Josiah. I don't think he did too well. But
yeah.
he tried a different strategy, and I do feel there are different strategies. I agree. I really enjoyed this game, and I'm excited to play it again. And one thing I forgot to mention is that there's a whole other side to the board, too, which is really stinking cool. That looks like it plays differently. It has a different research track. You can have assistants on here, which means you're going to get these persistent special abilities. And the thing that I really enjoyed about this game, there's a lot that I really enjoyed about this game, is it has an Orleans feel, where there's a lot going on. And when you first explain the game, it can sound overwhelming. You can do this, you can do this, you can do this, you can do this. These are free actions, these are these actions. Oh, if you get an idol, then you can use it to go over here, but then you're going to lose the victory points that are on your little tracker right here. And these are even double-sided based on, you know, if you're playing on which side of the board. There's so much going on in the game, but it felt like a clean system. Everything thematically works too, which I really like. The theme I felt came across, and it kind of crossed with the gameplay and made teaching the game and learning the game. I read the 24-page rule booklet, and it was a spectacular rule booklet. I was delighted by the rule booklet.
Like, we didn't have to go back or anything.
Yeah.
Like, every time we went back to the rule book was like for specific questions. Like, that's really just like us trying to like break the game to see like what can happen, and it worked really well. Like, it had like a good like if this happens, you do this or something.
I think our first game, we played 4 players, about 2 hours and 20 minutes, but that's with teaching and everything, which I don't think is bad, and I think 90 minutes would be just about right if we were to play it again.
Yeah.
What do you think about it?
I felt this one had this great mix of things. It's like if you've got a group of people that you're getting into games, and you're like, oh, and that we've played a worker placement game, and oh, we've played a deck builder game, and oh, we've played a resource management game. And it's like, oh, do you guys want to graduate to the next level? Like, let's play Lost Ruins of Arnak. You know, because it incorporates all those things, and in a straightforward and really easy to get system. I mean, the iconography is great. The art is beautiful.
Oh yeah.
Like, good player reference. They even made it like your little player board has your color tents on it. Wait, on one side.
Oh,
no, why not on the other side? Why would you do that? Why would you do that?
There might be one.
Really?
Might be different. Or symmetrical.
No, that just seems like
what, you played 2 characters or something?
I don't know. That's a minor oversight.
Yeah.
But yeah, I agree with you. I forgot about the resource management game too, because there's a lot of upgrading things. It's like, I need this to get that, to do this. One thing I really liked about this, I don't know if you two would agree, is I always felt like there was stuff that I could do. This game, the core of this game is how many more turns can I squeeze out? But not in like a negative, like, it never felt in a bad way.
Yeah, so, like, because you have your 2 characters that are your worker placers, and you, normally it's like, oh, I used my workers, well, I'm pretty much done. Yeah. But that is not this game. You have tons of things you can do besides, like, you could not even place your workers and still have plenty of things to
You
do.
can get
I think-
cards, and you can just like use those. Like for example, like there's artifacts where you can just like when you buy them, you use their ability instantly, which might be able to get you like more actions later on, which is like a nice little loop you can try to go for. It gives you like a lot more. You can plan it, but you can also improvise if the opportunity presents itself.
When the deck building was pretty tight too, so I really liked that because the first round, the cards you buy, you know you're gonna get those next round.
Yes.
And then you know the stuff that you put in there, that's that's the second, that's the third round in. So you know what's coming up in your deck, because the way it works is new cards go into the bottom of your current deck, and then you mix up the ones that you've used and put that underneath those. So I really enjoyed that I could think, okay, these are the things that I'm going to be able to do next time.
Oh, yeah.
And I could plan for that and work toward that goal. I really enjoyed it. I think that tight deck building, it's got the worker placement that's not overpowering. It's got resource management. You're kind of moving up that track over there and getting people. It's just got a lot of things going on, but not in a complicated way.
And one thing I want to mention that we haven't mentioned is I loved the variety of cards. I
Oh,
didn't see.
yeah.
Did we have any duplicates?
No, I don't think
No.
so. at all.
And
Even the monsters and everything was totally different.
yeah, the monsters though were fine. They were pretty.
Their individual artwork, which is a lot of effort.
You know
which I
what? That's a fair
appreciate.
point. I was like, I'm fighting a monkey. I'm fighting. Yeah, I did get into
Yeah.
that. Okay, but I also really liked how there was like a time track. You keep track of the rounds, and as you progress through the rounds, you're more likely to get the artifacts. Because in this game, item cards, you're less likely to buy item cards at the end of the game because you're just not going to get them. And they figured out a way to make it so that there's more artifact cards than item cards toward the end of the game, and I thought that was a really clever game design.
Well, and thematically, as you're
yeah.
discovering more places, you're finding more artifacts. So there should be more artifacts out there. I like it.
So in the end, I really like this game. Obviously, it's only one gameplay so far, but put a rough number on this one. Where would you rank this?
Ooh,
Because I want to play it. Do we all want to play this again?
Oh,
right?
yeah, for sure. Probably like an 8-7.
8.7?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'd probably say like a 7.5, because even though like I like this game, I will say that this reminds me of the other game I played, Zolkin,
Zolkin.
and I think I'd rather play that.
Ooh, Zolkin's Zolkin's an all-timer
See,
though.
that's the
Zolkin's
thing.
like
I don't know.
I don't know. I
I
feel
love
like
Zolkin, too.
I mean,
I
it's-
did.
yeah.
I would say they're about on par with one another.
It's like this
honestly.
one, it gives
In
you
my
like
opinion.
I think everything in here is balanced. Like there's a balanced deck building and there's a balanced like thing. But I will say that like you can't go into depth into all of it. Like there's like if you love deck builders, I don't know if this would hit your thing for deck building. If you like worker placement and like this kind of track, it hits it, but it doesn't get there a lot.
That's a good point. It doesn't do anything like amazing. It just does everything really
Good. It does
really
everything
and
good,
great.
and it hits the minimum and above. It does it cleanly. Because I've seen other games try to combine these elements and they work bad. And like when you described it to me at first, I was a little hesitant, but like it worked really well.
Yeah.
But it doesn't hit any highs.
I think I like Zolkin better. But that's nothing
That's-
like I
that's-
love
that's saying,
Zolkin.
like,
It's my
it's-
top 50
yeah.
games of all time,
That's
probably.
like it's like a 9. Like it's like okay, you're not as good as like a 9, but like I can't it makes it too close for me not to compare it.
I think I'm with Adam. I think 8.7 is about perfect. I think an expansion would let me slap a Bauer's Best seal on this.
If there was an expansion, I would definitely like because I
Well-
feel like you have to go to point salad in this game because like you can't choose one path and go hard into it.
Well, the other thing I want to mention is I believe there's going to be like different stories that you can play on the solo version of the
Ooh.
game. Like there's, I'm pretty sure I remember reading that in the PDF of the rules. That's the only thing. Player aid card is really good too. I forgot to mention that.
But it is a great game. Like it's me like I'm just hitting it to hit it because like I don't want to be too positive because like there's some feelings I have against it, but it's a
But
great
what are the
game.
feelings you have against it? Just out of curiosity.
No, it was
Lay
pretty
it
much just
down.
that. It was pretty much just that.
Okay.
It's just like it does everything well, but like if I'm in the mood for a deck builder, I'd probably build a deck builder. If I was in the mood for something else, I'd go for something else.
I would agree with that.
If
I would
I
agree with
was,
that
if
sentiment.
Okay.
it's one of those games. It's just like I don't know what to play. This is a good game and it hits all the things I like. But if I'm in the mood for something else, I probably wouldn't gravitate towards this because I keep thinking I love this game. But when I ask myself, do I want to buy it? And I'm just like, I'm glad you own it. It's one of those games.
And I think I am going to keep it, even though this is a prototypey version of the game, because I liked it.
Great.
Yes, artwork, like, yeah. So in the end, we all liked it to various different degrees, and I think if you want a game that just kind of mushes a whole bunch of stuff together and does it really, really well,
I think it's clean, the art's beautiful.
And a rule booklet that is a delight to read. Because here's the thing, I want to stress this. Sometimes I read so many rule booklets. I've read quite literally thousands of rule booklets, which is really depressing to think about right now. But I've read so many rule booklets, and this one, it's just, when you know what I'm talking about, when you read a rule book, you're like, oh, that's cool, I want to keep reading and find out more about the game. That was in here. And
and the fact that we didn't have to like go back to it like often like is a testament.
Yeah.
Like we didn't have to do like, and it wasn't like we only looked back at it on like not on basic rules, but just like, okay, did they plan for this possible outcome? Or
can I game the game?
Yes.
That's can I game the game? Yeah. But there you go. That is Lost Ruins of Arnak from CGE, one that I think you could easily put in your shelf and really enjoy. Now, here's the other thing. This is a good question. Do you think in 3 months we'd be able to go back to revisit this with minimal rules? Because I think once we got the board set up, Josiah said he didn't think you would, but I think once I got everything set up, I think I'd be like, oh yeah, this goes here, that goes there. I think the rules were streamlined enough that I don't think it would be that big of an issue to go back to the
I don't
board.
think so.
Well, there you go. That is Lost Ruins of Arnak from CGE. That looks like it might be your cup of tea. Be sure to check this one out if you're enjoying what we're doing. Please be sure to click on that subscribe button down below. Also, in the comments below, let me know. Would you ever, for on vacation, want to go like go exploring in like the caves, looking for lost artifacts and ruins? No.
Yeah, I think I would. Yeah, I'll try everything once.
I'm totally down. Boys trip. Boys trip in like 20 years. Let's do it. We'll go to Africa and die. Hopefully not.
Sarah hates caves, so she's not going to want to go.
All right. There we go. That's Lost Ruins of Arnak. Let us know in the comments below. Are you coming with me and Adam in 20 years? We'll bring board games too. And as always, thanks for your time, you two.
In the cave?
Yeah. You get like lights and stuff.